streaming. Let's make sure that it's good on this end. Make sure I'm not just looking at like a black screen. Yeah, we seem to be good. Fantastic. Plastic elastic. Being a dork here. Alright. Yeah, it's been a grip since my previous one, but I did want to record this one because, again, I'm still playing through Warframe for the first time. It's been a bit since my last video where I went and got to be MR9. Big fat MR9. I have new care. I've done a lot, so I guess first is going to be catching up with where we're at. I am now MR16. Look at me. Just got there the other day. Let's see. Still mostly using Wukong, but we got the still path. Here we are on different frames, I'm still figuring it out, I'm liking Kome. Kome is a lot of fun. I like getting like little mini games. Like I was really worried if like the rest of this game, the later game, was going to just be a lot of okay, go do this, 30+ minute mission. Especially because there's so many missions where, because the rewards are like A, B, C reward payout, it's like there's so many missions where you want to stay to get at least the C like set of rewards or whatever it is. But just like being in a mission and killing guys for a long time gets to be tiring. You nod off, you're not paying attention, especially on those harder missions. It's like you need to be locked in. But I think Kone is really cool because, I get to like stay participating in something and it keeps me active. I like Ivara for open world stuff. Cora is really cool. I like that Cora gets to have 2 pets, even if she's going to eat all my Forma. And fucking Sevagoth will eat more Forma than that. Wukong still is reliable. I'm building a little bit of Zaku to break boxes. I like Yorelli. I want to get her Prime and see how much I enjoy running around and doing that. I don't know, because again, I just got the Still Path stuff, and I don't know how viable secondary weapons are on Still Path, but I'm sure there's like, once I get to, I've learned that incarnate weapons are a thing, and I've heard that the Despair Incarnate's pretty good. Now, I don't know if that's really a great weapon for Yorelli, but it seems like once I unlock incarnate weapons, those will make Still Path a little bit less painful for me. I've been managing. I managed to get to Deimos, so I've done a little bit of that. I was going to pull up. Yeah, speaking of Deimos, I'm building up my syndicates. I'm getting higher rank in a couple of these. I need to do some Eidolon hunts for quills, actually. But, yeah. We're making it there. We're making it there. Yeah, and I guess I have a lot of these challenges, but these seem like you knock out most of them on the way. But yes, I've been leveling up Gauss. He's fun. I like that I can kind of make him look like, a robot that, like, Char Aznavour would pilot. Looking like a Xeon mobile suit or like sleeves or something out here. That's kind of what I'm going for, if you're into Gundam, as I am. But yeah, I have just recently finished a bunch of quests. So I have Duviri Paradox and New War. I was told to do Duviri first, I think. I was told it'll be like a therapy session, and so you have to get enough space trauma before you go to your space therapy. Is what I was told. Let's see. You can see I even did the sortie for today. What are we looking at here? But I wanted to talk. I guess first I wanted to talk a little bit about just kind of my thoughts, because I recently did. I wonder if there's a way to see. If I click main quests and go back to the older previous ones. Yeah, I just did the Prelude to War stuff. Where there's like 3 very short like cutscenes or missions basically, and each of those was kind of interesting. Like the first one, so I helped I helped old Umbra Excalibur beat the hell out of Ballas. We stabbed him, but now he's infected and messed up, and at least as far as I understand. But not only is that the case, but then also they reprogrammed Lotus to, embrace her sentient side. Which, I mean, Ballas was already reprogramming her to LARP as his wife, I guess. Margolis or whatever. I don't even know if she was his wife. I just know that he had a thing for her. But, Ballas can eat it. I guess I should say, yeah, to preface, I did do the sacrifice, which is what gave me all of that lore, right? And so I learned a good deal about kind of where Ballas' place was in relation to the Warframes, how the Orokin created the frames to fight the sentients, how they had all these different problems with it, and the Helminth and the infection and transference, and the Tenno were kind of the answer to that. So it's cool. I've liked how like that's sort of built up. It's wild that's buried, that deep into this game. It seems like a really late end payoff. I guess it's interesting. This game's had a lot of content front-ended, but not as much of the plot. And I don't know if that hits for some people, that it's like teased out in that way. I mean, I know as players, maybe it's a good... For newer people, maybe it does a good job reflecting how it was for people who play this every year. And so you'd have to wait years between these major story beats. And so having a lot of like, okay, we'll go play a bunch of other content before you get forward. I guess I could have played all these back to back to back, but I didn't. Instead I finished my star chart. I'm almost done with my star chart in Railjack as well, because they're apparently releasing Stillpath Railjack soon. And because I'm not an old jaded player, I actually enjoy Railjack. It's okay. There's not too many. I gotta do New War. I gotta do a couple of these quests, but it seems like New War is what's really gaining a lot of this next stuff. Whereas Duviri is like maybe more of a side thing. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I was doing Prelude to War, so it's interesting. Ballas was putting together some sort of sentient slaying weapon. He then gets captured by the sentients. Era is Nada's like brother or something. As far as if sentients can even have families, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but adding at least a little bit of character to sentients, which haven't really been like outside of, I guess, Nata or the Lotus, they haven't really had real personality. Like they've just been enemies that I shoot, and so it's interesting. Like they're so far there's so many Corpus and Grineer characters, and I'm doing all these assassinations, and I'm getting all this info about them, and I'm learning about their situations and how they are exist within this universe. But the Sentient and the Orokin, and especially the Sentient, have just been like, well, sometimes there's a Sentient here, and you blast them because you got a Warframe, and you're Tenno, and you mess them up. And I guess I've gotten a lot of the kind of Orokin interest in lore from the from Deimos, the whole family there, and how everything went awry with them, and they all got infected. I still need to go and actually, because I just got to the max rank of Lloyd, and so I need to actually go and do two things. The more important thing is going to be to read all the lore, because I know that I was opening lore tablets about the guy that discovered void travel. That's like their father, their grandfather, basically, as far as I understand. But I wanna see if I can't edit my Let me change my glyph, or not. Let me change my glyph, and it's like, what do you mean? I can go with Clem. These are honoria though. I was looking to. Yeah, I want to change my glyph, man. I like how it gave me the option, and it was like, no, you can't do it anymore. Bizarre. Well, I wanted to change my glyph to there. I got a Necromech one. I like the Necromech. I wish there were more Necromechs. If I can. Okay, here, it opened in the sub menu. Cool. Bizarre that it did that. Okay. Is it void? Oh boy. Can we just scroll and maybe find it? What is it called? Yeah, because I got the Bone Widow one, but I want the other one. I want the other one. I like the Necromech. I want them to put more in. Maybe on a dev stream or something. I'll make a fuss or find a forum to make posts or something. Yeah, I claimed a couple of these. A friend of mine sent me a big thread that had different ones you can claim, but that doesn't read at all when it's small. Whatever. We're still going with it for now. Yeah. So before we knew war, like I said, I was gonna go over the rest of kind of how I felt about Prelude stuff, and so I think it's interesting that my evil, I say my evil self, other me, is who led me to where Ballas was, interestingly enough, after he stole Lotus's helmet. But yeah, all the era stuff kind of established that the Sentients are, getting ready to really mess things up. We get to see a little bit of, interestingly enough, whenever the Lotus was fighting against the Sentients on Lua, which was cool. I like getting that flashback stuff. You got to see the Warframes doing cool Warframe stuff. Which, that's the thing that I think is wild about Warframe. This game's called Warframe, but hardly ever, do I get to see scenes of a bunch of other Warframes. It's usually me, which I get is power fantasy, but I want to see a bunch of Warframes Warframing out there. And the opening cutscene was really bombastic and oh yeah, look at these Warframes, they're Warframe. Which one of these cool guys do you want to be? And the game hasn't really delivered on, look at these cool Warframe. Which one of these guys do you want to be? Maybe there's reveal trailers I need to look up or something. I was told to watch the trailer for New War as well, which I suppose I will at some point. But anyway, Yeah, Maker. They were just kind of. That was whenever we really got to see Ballas being pulled around by Era on like a leash, and they're talking about the Makers, and uh, going to war, and how the Tenno are the only thing that really stand in the way. They're Warframes that were made to destroy uh, the sentients. Now we gotta go to war with the sentients. I assume that's what this means, the new war, right? Is that, you know, the previous war was, you know, fought long ago, but then largely the sentients were fought off. Oh, I should also say the other thing is that it kept coming back to this idea that Era was destroyed back on Lua, and Era's like, no, 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 I'm gaslighting you. I was not destroyed. I am totally Era, your brother. Which, I'm not sure that I buy all that. But yeah, it's interesting. I do like. I think there's an interesting kind of family and love interest dynamic that's kind of being explored, not just in this main plot, but also through these different characters, but in a way that doesn't really detract from the larger narrative that's present, and I think in fact it adds to it. Um, One thing I really didn't like completely. This is gonna be Expedition 33 Catching Strays, but I really didn't like how that game made a really interesting fantasy narrative conceit, and then when it gets to its second act, it goes, no, 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 actually, all of this is about, you know, this dispute between a family and like people's personal sort of, you know, it's not this big cool fantasy thing that you thought it was. It's actually, you know, all the outcome of this kind of family drama, and then the family drama so supersedes the cool fantasy stuff that it's just like, why did you change the focus of the story from something that was genuinely more interesting to something that like is that banal, or doesn't it didn't I felt like it really didn't add to it. It really distracted from it. And I think that's like, it's a hard thing to do, because I know, you know, people, you want to make something relatable for people, and like you want to create a conflict that is driven of human connection, or at least, you know, I say human connection that people can relate to, right? Which we feel is uniquely human, but you know, animals love each other and have families and stuff too. We're just animals. Um, we just like to imagine that we're a lot more clever. Anyway, which is, that does sound like an aside, but what I'm getting to is I think it's interesting that the sentient in this prologue or this prelude, we've introduced the idea that the sentient have these notions of family. Um, because it's been really easy to dismiss them so far as just being guys I shoot that like are just, you know, AI, which I don't know how many gallons of water it takes to run the sentient factory. Anyway, um, so yeah, it's like I think that the human stuff has complicated interestingly the plot that is here, rather than simplified it in a way I don't like as much. And I think part of why it works here in this game, where it didn't work for me in Expedition 33, is I think Expedition 33 had a dynamic and involved enough plot as it was, and like had so many of the characters tied to that already. Whereas because this is a, you know, MMO, and it's easily kind of approachable, it's by its nature a little bit lighter on a lot of the plot details early on, and so, you know, it's that all the family stuff serves as like a place to connect rather than a distraction from like a rather complex amount of connection that you might have already had. At least, I think that's why I like it more here. I'm not crazy about it. I'm like, oh man, I'm really glad that it's Space Mom and what is Space Mom's other family and their sentience. Oh, you know, it doesn't. It's not the most insane and inciting thing. I probably don't need to restrict this, but anyway, this is all to say. Now that we're however many minutes into this, let's start the Duviri paradox. I am interested in seeing what this is like. Okay. Am I going to get dialogue? Usually whenever you start a quest, they'll do some dialogue first up front, or you get an email, but it seems like maybe I just have to launch a mission. Let's go to it. This is what I was saying. I want Warframes doing Warframe stuff. Okay, so that guy's got to be a Tenno if he's doing transference. Oh, hey, it me? It me. Okay. I did not know I would have to do a second character creation. Look, this is probably mostly fine, given that it resembles well enough the character that I have already made. Oh, of course, they let me now have a beard. Oh boy. I can't say that I am a fan. I'd have to tweak that a good bit. You have 2 beards. You want more? You can buy them with money. I don't know if you can buy more beards with money. Oh, I have different... My drifter. Can I listen to a voice sample? Nerd. Okay. Like we'll stay with Al. Interesting. Yeah, like we'll accept our appearance here. Oh, cool character creation. This is my amp. Let's run that. Okay. Guidance, got it. Oh, yeah. We are not Blue means it's my friend. Red means it's bad. Okay, so now we have horses, is what you're saying? I didn't know we had horses. Oh no. I was wondering if there was a glide. For some reason, my brain connected gallop and jump, and I was like, oh yeah, that's glide. I guess, no. We're not. Yeah, we're no one's king. So is this like a new open world? What is going on? There's rabbits. This is why my allies are blue as hell. By the way, it's so that whenever I'm running around and tagging animals in the overworld, I can see them from a mile away. And then I did the same thing. I made the overlay really red for enemies. So visually, it's gonna be a nightmare, but I probably should have expressed that. It does really help with seeing that you have a target. I like how I've just been galloping. Yeah. I've just been riding like, oh yeah, I guess I gotta go follow the road. No, we should follow our actual guidance. What do you call the thing? This is interesting when it goes between like color and like feeling really desaturated. The varying saturation is interesting. I will say I have no oh, and there's like even a active reload. Okay. Matterless statues restore your health. I have 250. I remember they made this, they were thinking, oh, Soulframe. I know Soulframe's really like fantasy. This is giving me some real fantasy vibes. But you know, it's got that technological bent to it. Okay. Hey, what's... Okay. Hey. Just see an owlie in the chat there. Alright. Well. They didn't help. But I'm learning more about what's going on. Huh. Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious how much. Okay, it's Kaith. That's what he called it earlier. Curious just how much of the. You know, if you can only use sidearms in the horse, like if it's like a K drive. It's neat that they made a whole new UI for all of this too. Yeah, what the hell indeed? What is going on? What are we looking at here? This is reminding me of, you know, like whenever I got the Void... Oh, hey, there I am, maybe. This is reminding me of the Void Rig stuff and how there was the, all the Necromech stuff. I think some of the old kind of tech. Okay, there's mini-me. Guide my reflection into the light. I guess... like so? Okay. Can he leave the temple? No. I like how I said temple. Like that's absolutely what this must be. What is this little fella? I am so confused. Oh, okay. I was also like looking for like where's the next light supposed to be? But there it is. This is kind of neat. Is that supposed to be it way over here? No. Okay, it's back in the center. Interesting. Oh, now I have this little doll. Hey, those are intrinsics. Are those different intrinsics than the ones I used to be better at Railjack? Yeah, I didn't get very... So this is like some other version of my Tenno in the future, because he's older. I'm just a baby boy. I'm a baby Tenno boy. But he's also on this crazy planet, our realm, in which seems shaped by Duviri, perhaps. Whatever's going on with... Okay, are we... No. Yeah, let the hand guide you. Okay. Yeah. There we are. Even got a rabbit over here, and I won't even shoot it. It's blue, which means it's friend. Okay. Now, see this is familiar. This is from the very beginning of the game. Or, technically, maybe it wasn't. Here are... No, these are the starter 3 frames. Right? Yeah, that's Mag and Excalibur. And the other one is... the other one's Volt. Or is it... Oh. No, I'm just thinking this is pretty neat. Oh. But is it the same Teshin? Okay. Yet again, I get to, make a decision. I've been enjoying the balanced decisions so far. I don't know what bearing this has on anything. But also, of course, he would name it after his favorite Final Fantasy protagonist. I wonder in the cutscene, the mass figure, if that was supposed to be us as well, or the Drifter, whoever our character is meant to be. I suppose so. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm all for like this operator glow up. I'm so done being like the little dude who's just like, I have a laser beam. Excuse me, Mr. Eidolon, Terry? Terry? Ah. you know. Yeah. Yeah, immediately putting some swords into my man's hands. Uh, Very cool. Okay, so they're drifter intrinsics. So I was like, it's gotta be something that's not just my Railjack. I thought that was comical. The idea of getting Railjack intrinsics. Okay. We're Elden Ring now. We can summon our horse. Okay, so combat. Now I have to... Combat's gonna give you... Is it... Okay, decrees give you damage. Restorative boost movement speed. You can summon a Warframe. So this feels like Duviri is going to be like a whole game mode I get, where I mostly am an operator until I summon a Warframe, maybe? Curious. And then riding my horse is so important that it's a whole, like, skill tree. I say skill tree, it's not really a tree, but it's a whole upgrade option for making... I mean, I'm gonna want to get rank 4 so I can fast travel, right? Oh, rank... I love that whole rank is like, you can name it now. No plat, just name it. Opportunity. Okay. You get decrees, and you get choices between them, and they have rarities. And there's more Warframe options. Then endurance, as every decree gives you more health. So it really does seem like decrees, whatever those will be, are going to be really important. And then my drifter is actually going to be really important. Also, of course, there's parries. Yeah, it really seems like somebody was really filling the Elden Ring or the Souls games, you know? L2, okay. Yeah, I got a lock on. I had to build back up my power strike. Damn. Beat up a target dummy enough that it asks who I am. Okay. Can I... Is this... What is anything, really? Interesting. I assume that's like bridle saddle for my horse. Okay. For old Kaith there. What's deeper in this temple tunnel? Temple. Nothing. Nothing over here. Nothing to see there. Surely won't come up. Yeah, I said this would be Duviri, Paradox, and New War, but I didn't know that Duviri would be this involved from the get-go. I thought it would unlock, like, new content, but mostly be something maybe more truncated. Okay, and I can even freely... Okay, interesting. Fascinating. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay, it's not too tight for that. Yeah. You got a dodge roll. Oh, yeah, I guess I probably should have had to, hit him with it. Fascinating. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm just figuring out the basics of Duviri over here. But feel free to add me in game. I'm Varsoon backwards, so it's like Nusra V. Okay. Defeat the enemies. I wonder the best way to approach this is. Oop. Well, did not get hit by that. The target lock for the gun is not exactly what I would hope it would. Yeah, see? Like, I need to make sure that it's centered. And even then... Oh, interesting. So these are just supposed to be... Yeah, I just clocked that these were DAX. Okay. Get his ass. Oh, no. Run and heal. What's this triangle move? Oh, that's my smoke. Oh, okay, I can punish that. And I can also... Interesting. So I can get the interrupt in a little later than normal, too. It's not as tight as I thought it was. Fascinating. But yeah, Howling Stone, feel free to, add me in game. Okay. Do I just... I don't think there's really... Oh, hold that to fly. Interesting. So I was right that you could glide. I was not expecting them to actually deliver on the flying horses, but then they did. Okay. getting wrathed upon here. Alright. Mag's having... oh, they're all having a little bit of trouble. You made me choose again. That is really funny that this is like, you know, the character's experiencing deja vu, right? And like, oh, now I remember, you know, I died, but I've been through this already. Like that sort of situation. And then they make us choose our starting character again. I mean, you know, Volt's... out of all of these starters, I think Volt actually, now that I have experience with the game, I do think Volt might actually be the best one. Just, you know, you get a shield that just like blocks shots. You can blast people with a big shockwave. It'll paralyze enemies. It'll stun them. You can run around at the speed of sound. You can blast guys. I remember whenever I first got Volt, like early in the game, I felt like he was a little underpowered because I didn't have any good mods to make his ability strength better. You know? Whereas, meanwhile, I'm just running around with Excalibur, hitting guys with a sword and killing them in one hit, you know? So it's like, why do I want to shot guys like 3 times to clear, you know, an enemy or two? Why, you know, why would I ever want to do that? Yeah. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, you can really just clear a bunch of guys real fast, dude. Blah blah blah. I was also, you know, energy was more of an issue whenever I started too. Whereas it felt like playing Excalibur, I didn't have to worry about energy nearly as much. And I wonder if that's still going to be the case here. And part of me wants to choose Excalibur just because, you know, I stick to my guns. I chose Excalibur back when I started, and then I met Excalibur Umbra, and, you know, it just feels right that I got to choose Excalibur again, even though in my heart of hearts I know both Mag and Volt are maybe better. Certainly Volt seems like he has, you know, he's more well-rounded, has more utility, but we're going to go with Excalibur, because, of course. Yes. It's me. I'm Excalibur. Yeah, okay. Give me the Lex. Give me the Cronin. Give me that Boltor. Oh. See, the Excalibur's maybe the most well-rounded. Yeah, I can jump around again. That set me on fire. Okay, I just have my entire kit here, and my current's 30 and everything. Okay. Make quick work of these goons. Yeah, I still don't have... I had to be careful, because while it did give me a full bar of energy to start and play with here, I noticed that I do not have much in the way of energy regeneration. Which is also why I went with Excalibur there, too. Because I was thinking, I'm probably going to need to fight guys up close, and Excalibur gives me a good way to close that distance. You know, it's like, oh, there's enemies, slash dash. You know? Okay, I just saw an energy pod, though. And then also, whenever I'm out of energy, I feel like I can more readily handle a problem situation when I've got Excalibur as well. Because, you know, you can always just blind a group. I love that Teshin's teaching us about Warframes, you know? Alright. Getting swept up in that. Are those okay? But that sucks in a bunch of enemies. Whoop whoop. Did not connect that. Yeah, Volt seems really good if you know, like, you know, exactly like how to use all of his abilities. I enjoyed playing Mag when I was playing Mag as well, though. But, like, yeah, Volt also seems like the one that, once you especially get a good set of mods, you could go really, really wild with. Gotta find a paradox. Alright. This is wild. This is all, like, I was not expecting them to pull a whole other game. I was expecting new game mode, but I thought it would be like from what I could gather, it would be like a series of missions you did that were like you choose like a survival type thing. I didn't realize that they'd have all this other stuff attached to this. So this is really neat. Oh yeah, I imagine that, especially Volt, like if you have the right support frames and your damage is boosted and you know, you have basically infinite energy. Like, I'm sure Volt goes really well if you have like a Noko helping you out, you know? Fascinating. Okay, now I'm actually being asked to check out this temple. Huh. Yeah. I wonder. Okay, I can just leave Duviri. I was like, I wonder how locked in I am right now. Yeah. Oh, you're trying to get Archon shards. Uh. Geez, yeah. For your. Okay, so I see. I see. Yeah. Um. I have got. I managed to get some. I think you can get there's guys that spawn in some missions that dropped. Now I wonder if I even have some of that Thrax plasm. Um, that was something that was dropping off of special enemies. Interesting. I'm really neatly putting this. Okay, so this is where I love how like Zelda old man in a cave Teshin is right now, giving me swords of all sorts. Hey man. Okay. I didn't mean to horse evade that guy, but here we are. Yeah, I finished my star map. Oh boy. Getting blasted. So I got the still path myself recently, but it's hard, man. Yeah, should get this guy. I wonder how useful it is just to keep. Okay, you can't just keep blasting. I should interrupt those. Okay, I get to choose a decree. Okay, so that's what I thought. These are kind of like, the same as Komei's tenets. Which, that makes sense, because there was one Komei tenet that said it, like, gave a better buff. Yeah, it's Reign of Vitality. Like, you could get this as a Komei tenet, and I always wondered, what do you mean this effect triples for Warframe? It's like, and it makes a lot more sense within the context of Duviri. Okay. I do love the Stormcaller one. I'm gonna take that one. Even if I don't know that it really helps me as much as it does my Warframe. Yeah, I'm enjoying Warframe a good bit. It surprises me a lot with like every one of the kind of new things that it does. Yeah, as far as the main quests go, I've been doing them in order, and so right now I'm up to Duviri Paradox in New War, and I was told to do Duviri first, or at least that I could do Duviri now that I had done everything. Yeah, any upgrades are good, yeah. Oh, okay. We gotta got a champion here. All right. Taste the blades, buddy. Yeah, this is your second account. Yeah, I've been just taking it at my own pace, really. I do have like 150 hours in the game, but a lot of that is doing different stuff, you know? Okay, I get a common decree. Shots deal an extra hit with corrosive. Melee hits gives you crit. Yeah, like I had a one of my friends taught me all about, you know, like, well, it's not going to be that important when you're lower level, but at higher levels it's really important to like prime enemies with statuses and then switch to like your weapons that are really good at doing crit damage, or you know, use your abilities, vice versa. I tend to like weapon platformy kinds of Warframes, though. But I like some that are more ability based. I really enjoyed playing Vauban. Vauban's pretty cool. But, you know, I did not enjoy as much, even though he's powerful, Sevagoth. That's why you're upgrading Queller, so that you can put some statuses on folks. Yeah. Or at least, you know, or punish them. Yeah, I don't know why I'm walking around. I have a horse. Gonna go enter the Undercroft. Okay, so then we enter these areas. I have to remember that I have... Oop, I've buffed my Boltor significantly, so it should just... it should just tear these goons apart. Yeah. Yeah, let's... Whoop. Not forget that we are... I mean, we're fighting low enough level guys that I can just do that and radio kills everyone in the area, you know? And then I can do one of these numbers. It's not going to collect you, but it'll collect all of them. What are you guys doing on your butts? You guys need to be fighting me. So it's interesting. It seems like we've got warriors from all kinds of different places. Because not only am I fighting the Dax, but now we've got some corrupted enemies, some Corpus. you know? Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take the headshot damage. Ludden's having a bad time. No, but I can search for it. Oh. Alright. What's this? Yeah, going for a status build on that Queller. Quellor. Whenever I started this game, I was like, man, why all the weapons have, like... There's so many wild names for everything. I have to get the Excephalus Nephalus on my Akbolto so that I can prime my... yeah, whatever. Don't be mean to the old Tishan. Yeah. Yeah, Excalibur Umbra is cool. I mean, you get all of those neat Umbra mods, but then, yeah, at least he's got the baked-in Forma for a few of them, right? Which, they're expensive, but pretty good to use. Yeah. Okay. So what he's saying is that this is another maybe interesting situation like Harrow, right? Because I did all the Harrow stuff. Another weird Tenno. Yeah, those mods are really good, but very expensive. So, and you have to set up like really dedicated Umbra, you know, like what is it, the Umbra Forma builds basically to really utilize them. Otherwise, they're going to take up so much of your mod capacity. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, but I think you could make some really cool. Yeah, you could go for a really cool build. So it's not in the future, it's a divergent timeline. Oh, yeah, and then just thinking about, because all those mods are, you can take them to a really high rank, can't you? So just the cost of Indo and credits to get them there probably is going to take a little while. I still haven't maxed out a lot of my mods, and I'm just getting to the point that I can get, like, right, I can get all the galvanized mods from the Arbiters. And it's, oh man, maxing those out is going to take a while, you know? And a lot of the time, too, like, I look at, like, I've got some of the Prime mods, but it's like, do I really want to spend, 20,000 Indo and millions of credits to make Animal Instinct 3% better? Or would I rather just, like, rank up a lot of, like, so many other, obviously, so many other mods you can take to, like, 5 or, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, they're very expensive. And you get diminishing returns, so it's your returns are. I say you get diminishing. It's the same return. It's like it's linear. It's just you keep getting additive buffs to the mod, but the cost always doubles. Yeah, man. Ugh, that's gonna be a journey to get all those Umbra mods maxed out, all the Archon mods or whatever they are, whatever they're called. See, here I was like, oh man, I met Hero, who's like, the Tenno that got picked on and became the loneliest little boy in the universe, and then, or well, not Hero, but his Tenno. God, now his name's not coming to me. The guy that the Red Veil worship, Rel. It's Rel, I think. So I got to meet Rel through all the Chains of Hero stuff, and so it's interesting because you see how like that kind of drove him crazy, and I wonder if it's a similar thing happening with Thrax, but because of him being a Tenno, maybe because of the Void powers, he was able to create this alternate timeline somehow. Rest at my bonfire. Insist that this is not inspired by the Souls games. I mean, again, they made Warframe, but I think that's like a split-off team or something. Okay. Well, we can do a little bit more of this Duviri stuff. Yeah, Prime Flow, yeah, that's another. Gonna take you a while. What do you use for like energy regaining? Are you just using Equilibrium? That's kind of what I've had to land on. Is like because people were saying like, oh, you can use the one Tenno school like Xenoric or whatever and create well springs. And like that's helpful, but Mathala. The Xenoric Wellsprings are helpful, but they're not like a really stopgap. So, it leaves me kind of wondering, like, outside of Equilibrium, which is great so long as you can keep getting orbs and killing enemies. But whenever you're not able to, you're kind of at a loss. Is this the chest? No, that's whatever that is. A Trax Dole. Okay, this is the chest. Alright, okay, I can slow this down and then stop these. Okay. Do I have to do them in any particular order? No? Yeah, Dreamer's Bond is pretty useful. I like Dreamer's Bond because it's also Omni, so you can stick it on anything. Oh, that's great. go. I'd love to get more crit chance. So yeah, you keep talking about getting like immortal. Kind of how are you making yourself immortal? Because as far as I understand, like the popular way people stay alive is like through shield gating, right? By having like your shield delay be really low, and then you get a little bit of invincibility every time your shields pop. And then just trying to kind of be mindful of that. But I know that there's like other things you can do too. I was playing like an arbitration or something where someone had something that kept giving us more maximum health and shields, and like we were at over 2,000 at some point. Okay, I gotta fight some. Purge the darkened areas of Libinus. Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, these are stealthy enemies. Fascinating. But I know where they are because of the chain that they have on me. I say that. I also wonder if I can... Oh, I wonder if I can target them too. I say as I forget how to. Very high health and shields, yeah. Okay, headshot, 3% chance that enemies near the target will be infected with toxin. I do love the resistance to knockdown, but we already have a melee decree. If we want to lean into melee, I don't know, stable stance, fine. I don't like getting knocked down. You know? More guys around, less chance of being knocked down. I'll take it. Yeah, when I'm playing Kome, I just hope that like I get all the ones that just make my gun better. Even though I say that, but like most of the things, the tenets that she can get are melee focused. So I imagine a lot of the decrees are as well, since they seem to be coming out of the same sort of pool of stuff. And now I wonder what they made first. If they made Kome first, or if they made... they must have made this first. Duviri Paradox, or at least the decree system. Is that sucking guys in? What's happening with that? Yeah, fast deflection's pretty good. more energy. There we go. Take care of those guys. Yeah, I use, I think I've got 100% stagger resistance on something because I like playing Wukong, right? And there's nothing more than a bummer than getting staggered, but I might not even need it in that build that I'm running, you know? It's nice to just be able to continue to combo guys, though, you know? Come on, you can't hide behind the hay. We only have a minute left. Yeah, we should play some time. Like I said, feel free to add me. Again, it's Noosrad, so Varsoon backwards. I'll put up my profile again in a second here, but I had it at the beginning of the stream. The best way that I have to get credits, I know that there's better ways now that I've unlocked Stillpath. I just don't know what they are. But the best way that I've found to get credits has been, you know, either have your booster or blessing, whatever you have that can already make you get more credits, and then do the index stuff, right? Where it's like profit index or something. It's the Corpus mission where you bet so much money and then you get paid out. It takes a little bit of time, and like the enemies do scale, so you have to have it benefits having a good team for it. But that's mostly how I've kind of, whenever I've needed a couple million, how I've done it. Mainly heavies. Yeah, I might have to do the, both of these are pretty good. I don't know what the melee heavies are like on the, I wonder if I can, oh no, I'm not on my Warframe. Well, yeah, we'll take Sweet and Low, sure. Yeah, you can get a lot, and then if you, like I said, if you have a blessing or like a booster or both, you can increase it even more. But I'm sure, because Stillpath gives you better drop chance on everything, and I think there's like some other options. So I'll have to figure out like what are some of the Stillpath ways, if there's anything I should know about. I was over Mathila immediately, Teshin. Yeah, I've got some few friends. The people that talked me into playing this game have been playing like forever, but they have also avoided spoiling me in all terms of it. So they have not, just given me. Well, like one, you would need a ton of credits for them to give you like really good arcanes anyway. Um, so most of what they've helped me out with is just like they've gotten me like slots a lot of the time, which has been really nice. But every now and then, like once I'm like, oh, I kind of like this and this about the game, they'll be like, okay, here's all the stuff you need to build this kind of a Warframe. And so, like, well, they'll just give me like the stuff for different Warframes, which is how I've gotten a couple of the primes that I have. I've gotten about half, like I want to say about half of my Warframes on my own. But here, like I was gonna say, I was gonna pull up my profile anyway. So yeah, it's Nusrav or Nusravi. Basically, it's just Varsoon backwards. Varsoon's the username I use on most stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. I found that generally the community for this game has been really good. People have been really helpful and really nice. There's still, you run into the occasional person that's very sweaty about it and like really try hard. Um, but I'm not. I don't. I just when I encounter those kinds of people, I'm just like, okay, man, like, can I move on? Um, yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't had any of the plot stuff spoiled for me, which is like honestly, it's kind of hilarious how many hoops that I've realized that my friends have gone through. Like we were doing the whenever we were doing the void rig like isolation vaults, right? Um, you have to get the extra bonus from the vault. You have to become your operator to shoot the little things, um, like the nodes at the end. Yeah, I will have to get out of this mission to check my mail. I think actually, but yeah, you have to get out, like, you have to make your operator shoot them. But my friend didn't want to spoil that operators even existed because I hadn't done that part of the game yet. I hadn't done War Within or any of that stuff, and so uh, basically she was like, "Hey, I think it's got an issue. You need to like leave the cave and then come back in." And they basically just like shot all the stuff while I was out of the cave. I was like, "Am I good to come back in now?" Like, and they're like, "Yeah, I think it's fixed. I think I got the door open." And I'm like, they were just gaslighting me." But no, it's all good. Like I said, they've been doing a really good job of not just like, you know, smurfing my account or like giving me all the best stuff. I've had to make all my weapons on my own. They haven't given me any weapons. They've given me like a few mods that like if it costs like 20 or less plaid and it's something that's kind of annoying to get. Or like if I'm really into a Warframe, they'll give me like a couple of the special mods for that Warframe, which has been fun. Yeah, I like that I can't even. It's not even letting me look at all my frames in this screen right now. But yeah, they've given me a couple of different primes, or like the parts and some of the other spare stuff that they had for some of the other primes. So like Valkyrie, or some of the ones that are vaulted right now that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Uh, yeah. Well, again, it's on screen right now, so you can make sure that you got it to me. But like I said, I'll have to leave Duviri. Um, so let me finish assembling this figure and everything. Yeah, that's me. Like I said, I think I just can't see inbox stuff right now. Ah. Yeah, I just signed in with Steam. The Dormizone. Okay. Well, let's go see what the Dormizone is. Is that gonna help me resolve this initial setup? Because I think for this stream I'm just going to do, if I'm near the end of it. I don't know how much actual like running around Duviri stuff they have going on. I got food cubes. I got some disjointed animations. I got a home. Fascinating. I'm willing to bet that they let you customize some of that stuff. I've seen the crazy stuff people do with their dojos and their like orbiters, which is really neat. I played a lot of City of Heroes before this. This is one of my favorite MMOs, and there's really cool like customization for bases and characters in that. So it's cool to see some of that in here too. Okay, so it wants me to get back into Duviri. I wonder how much of this, like I said, like is plot. Because I was wondering if it was about to start. Like, this is a lot more than I expected. I thought it was going to be, maybe a mission or a cutscene or something. I was not expecting like a whole, like there's a whole map. you know. Yeah, this is gonna be another 3-part deal. Let me, yeah. I was expecting it to be much more plotty. Anyway, let me get back to my base. Yeah, I'll keep everything that I got so far. We'll check on that friend request. But I've also been streaming for almost going on 2 hours now, so yeah, let's see. Yep. I got looks like I got a friend request. I assume that's you. I'm gonna accept it anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, I mentioned this earlier on the stream. Basically, I have New War and Duviri Paradox, and I finished everything up to there. So I've done all the little side quests so far. But yeah, if I go, and I can, before signing off here, I can show you the other frames that I've had where I'm at. So yeah, I like Valvin. Valvin's pretty cool. I've gotten a couple others to 30. Frost is neat, but I only just recently got him. I'm leveling up Gauss right now. I like Ivara for open world stuff. I really like playing Kome, and Korra is a lot of fun too. Let's see. I mostly play Wukong because he's carried me through the regular game. And I like Ureli as well. Ureli's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's the frames I have. But yeah, like some of these, like I have obviously a ton of frames that I haven't leveled just because, like I said, my friends gave me a couple, like Rhino Prime. I think they gave me Volt Prime, Valkyrie Prime. a couple of those I got that way. But I've also been busting a bunch of whatchamacallits, bunch of relics. I think Baruch Prime they also gave me, which Baruch's pretty cool. I want to spend some time leveling him up. Yeah, Frost is. I think Frost is really really cool. I like how good he is at like specific types of missions, and I like any frame where like I feel like all of my abilities kind of have a neat effect and like do stuff that I want to do. You know, that's why I really like Volvin, because even though I do tend to enjoy like the frames that like work more as a weapons platform, you know, where like they're like giving you a bunch of buffs that will make your melee or your ranged weapon stronger, and then just be kind of survivable themselves or what have you. Volvin was one of the first frames I played where it felt like, oh cool, I can really clearly see like what the game plan is and what each of my abilities do, and like why I'd want to use all of these, and I feel like I'm getting use out of all of them. Which I mean, it's not so bad that other frames have abilities that like, you know, you might have one or two that you don't use that much since the helmet system does exist. But yeah, weapon wise, I've built most of mine. I do have a friend that's given me all of these Prisma ones because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get them from. I didn't have the ducats, the ducats. Didn't have the currency to trade with. Old what's his face, Baro Katir whenever he came through. So one of my friends was kind enough to just be like, "Yeah, I just bought all of Baro's like weapons that he had on offer for you. Here you go. Have a bunch of Prisma weapons." Yeah. Oh wow, you would reset your MR. Now you go like legendary or something, don't you? Like you go beyond 30. Fascinating. Yeah, I got a couple different melee weapons as well. I really enjoy like any stuff that I can stay mobile with. I really have been enjoying using the Okina Prime. I've been building that up a little bit. I formed it once. Look at me go. And then for my sidearms, I like the beam weapons a lot, but I haven't gotten like a super great one. I like Gamma Core when I was using it, but I also really like Despair. Despair's really cool. Yeah. You playing since the old days when they had like stamina, and I lived with a guy whenever Warframe started. He was really into it, like the first year or two it was out, and we were living together. But at that time, I was in grad school, and I had no interest. No interest. I was like, you know, I've got all these other things on my table, but you know, I'd watch him play from time to time, and it was neat. But you know, yeah, I think whenever he was playing, it was around whenever Necron had just come out. Was like the second year whenever we started living together, because we all moved into an apartment together for that year. But yeah, so I've known about it for a while, but yeah, I heard that the movement tech used to be a glitch, like all like the whatchamacallit, the bullet jump stuff. Nice. But yeah, they didn't really move. That's honestly the best way to go. One of the games I used to really love to play was Guns the Duel, and all the movement tech in Guns the Duel was entirely just like unintended glitches. Um, where like if you changed your weapon, like it would reset your dash, so you could dash multiple times in midair. But like you'd have to like quick swap to a different weapon and then swap back and like cancel the animations. Um, and like the devs just embraced it. They were just like, yeah, that's part of what makes the game special. And yeah, it seems like the Warframe devs are like really kind of tapped in, especially nowadays. Yeah, and it seems like they try to get on top of like a lot of the the issues that the game has too. I saw like they do like weekly streams and they do a lot of community stuff. It's really cool. That's one of the things I didn't know about the game until I got into it. Like how cool the community is on both sides, um, like both on the developer side and like the people that are playing it. Generally, I've had a lot of really good interactions with other people, and you know, it's been a cool time. And like especially as a new player, I haven't felt intimidated or like there's moments where I felt a little overwhelmed, but like people generally have been there to help me out through it. So it's been a really fun time. But yeah, that's gonna probably be it for this stream. Like I said, we're pulling right up on 2 hours now, so I'm gonna get something to eat and log out for now. Do some stretching and moving around. But yeah, yeah, I've been enjoying the game a good bit. I mean, I'm still playing it, and I don't intend to stop anytime soon. I want to get through at least all the plot for sure. Um, and then they have new stuff on the horizon too. TennoCon's just around the corner. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for the game, and I've enjoyed playing it. Um, but yeah, that'll be it for now. This Duviri stuff is a lot more than I thought it would be, and so I thought that I would maybe be able to do both. I thought it would be like the Duviri stuff would maybe take 30 minutes at most, and then I'd be able to jump into all the new war like quests. But it seems as though there's yet more Duviri quests to go. So next time I get into doing the Duviri quest, I will stream that. Because I've wanted to stream like the major moments of playing through the game, not just for the few friends that I have that are veterans that don't always have time to just like play with me, or I can't just like show it to them via sharing screen or whatever. But also I know that there's other people that are always interested in seeing someone's first time playing. But yeah, man, thanks for catching it. Yeah, I was told to watch the trailers, so I'm gonna actually do that on stream before I start it. Was the plan, because there were two different videos I was sent, both like a cinematic trailer and then I think like a preview thing, like maybe a recap of all the stuff before it, something like that. But I'll get there when I get there. Thanks for tuning in, and those of everyone that watched this after the fact, thanks for watching it. I do appreciate it. In the meantime, I'll just be hanging out, playing through Warframe, and then whenever I have time and I'm not doing dailies or focus too much on anything else, then I'll be doing, whatever have you. But yeah, in the meantime, take care, and good luck out in space, Tenno. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.